In this video, I'm going to help you to let go of your attachment to a specific person, to a thing that you're currently desiring, or how you are currently seeing yourself, or from how you're currently seeing yourself. And if you stay to the end of this video, you will feel that shift within from being attached to the freedom of feeling detached. Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. For those of you that are new, welcome. I am Natalie, and for those of you that are coming back, it is great to have you here again. I am a manifestation coach and a neurotransformation therapy practitioner. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then please do click that subscribe button. Your support on my channel really does mean the world to me. And if you have already subscribed, then thank you for your support. As I said, it really does mean the world to me. I wanted to just share that Connie is doing an absolutely amazing job doing the email coaching and is now offering one-to-one Zoom coaching sessions. And you can have sessions with her Monday to Friday and weekends too. So check out the links below, more about those services. I'm still offering a variety of one-on-one coaching sessions with me. Like I said, we've already got the email coaching, Zoom sessions with Connie. I'm offering personally designed subliminal videos, programs where we deep dive into your limiting beliefs to release those, and self-study courses for self-love, which are all to guide you to manifesting and experience a life that you deserve. And as I said earlier, all of the details about my coaching services, about me, and Connie's coaching services can be found by clicking the links below. If you do have any questions about any of the services I offer, then you can email me at natalie@asthepenniesdrop.com. Okay, so let's get into the video so you can finally start to feel that shift within, that shift of detachment, that feeling of being detached from the outcome that you are wanting to experience. Whatever it is you are attached to currently, and by attached, what I mean is that feeling within that you cannot live without it or them. What you're actually doing fundamentally is, and what attachment basically is you are depriving yourself of freedom and being content with how you are living your life. You're depriving yourself from the happiness because, let's face it, that need of having to have what it is you want, whether that is a specific person, whatever it is, how you are currently seeing yourself, when you have a need, it is like an internal struggle within, an internal fight that you are having with yourself. And that is the block to the ultimate feeling of feeling free and happy. So as I said, when we are attached, we are depriving ourselves from this feeling and blocking ourselves from that desire coming into us. So I want you to ask yourself this: do you feel that life will only be great if you have them or it in your life? If you see yourself a particular way? Do you feel that it is this thing or this person that is all you need to finally experience true happiness? You see, being attached to whatever or whoever it is such a horrible feeling, and it really does weigh you down so much. It's like it becomes all-encompassing and it completely takes over your entire body, entire being, and even to the stage where you can't even think straight. And I know exactly how that feels too. And, and I've discussed that in a lot of my videos. And I was discussing this with a client the other day from Florida, and she is now in a place of non-attachment to her specific person. And she can clearly see just how horrid being attached was for her now that she's actually out of it, just how it was controlling her life and how she felt about herself. But now she's freed herself from that place of feeling attached and that need to have her specific person. She is feeling a million times better. And another way of explaining this is that it's that feeling of not being able to see the wood for the trees. And it feels like whatever it is that you're doing, you cannot shift that need within, that feeling of having to have it or them. So I also want to mention here, and this is the main reason why I've done this video, following a subscriber comment the other day, that letting go, detaching from the need of the desire, is not giving up. In fact, it is the opposite. It is creating that space to allow the desire to come to you, which is law of attraction. Simply put, law of attraction is knowing what you want, but at the same time, it's being okay without it. So what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video is going to make you feel so much better about yourself. You will feel a sense of relief within. You'll feel lighter and basically so much better than you're currently feeling now. And you will experience that sense of freedom and that sense of happiness within. So what it is actually I'm sharing is how I was finally able to detach from my exes, from specific people in my life, from needing certain people in my life, or for people to be a particular way, from needing clients for my business, from needing my body to be a particular way, from needing more money. And I've also used this from detaching from missed opportunities that I was holding on to as well. And I said something really important here, really fundamentally important a moment ago. And this is when we are detaching, what we're doing is we're creating a space, that space where we are then in the allowing phase. We are then allowing the law of attraction to do its job. We're allowing that desire to then naturally flow to us. And this can be explained another way too. It's total acceptance. It's accepting where you are and what you have. It's total acceptance for how the situation is, how that person is, how your life currently is. You end up gaining from doing this, not losing, when you are in a place of accepting where you are. It's like when you stop the need of things being a particular way or trying to change them to be how you want them from an obsessive place. And that feeling of like, I have to have it this way, I have to have them this way. It's that feeling within. It's when we accept, and this is how it feels for me. It's like the universe then has its chance to come in and to do its job properly and to make it how we do want it to be. It's letting go of the control of how you want things to be or having things to be a particular way. And this is allowing. And as you are in a place of accepting, you're literally saying, you know what you want and you're okay without it. And I'm accepting this is how it currently is. And you take a deep breath. You let go of that control. You remind yourself that you're done with feeling this way. And you're accepting exactly how things are. And it's that relief right there. This then allows what you are desiring to, you're able to heal from this, to let go of that grip of what it is you're wanting so it can come to you. So there's no forcing anymore. It's effortless. So creating that space for what it is you want means it can then come to you. So when I was building my business, I was so attached, and I've shared this story before, but I was so attached to the desire of having to have clients and to having to have money. Why? Well, because then I didn't have any. I was fearful and feeling desperate. And again, I've shared this, like I just said, but I could have lost everything. I could have lost everything I owned because I didn't want to go back to a job in the corporate world either. So you can see why this would have happened, why I would have felt attached to the need of it. But the more I was attached, the worse I felt, the more miserable I was, the more fear I had built within me. And when I was made aware of that thought process and how I was viewing things, I started to relax and I started to accept where I was and accept all of the amazing things that I was doing to build my business. I changed my focus. Nothing outside of me had changed, but I started to relax and I started to accept where I was. And it was literally about 2 weeks after that, I then got a big opportunity to train as a neurotransformation therapy practitioner. And I finally started to feel the support I had longed for, that I'd felt I needed, that was missing. And then I was able to consistently breathe again. And I felt so much happier. And I had this sense of relief and freedom within for the first time in, I can't even remember when, since I started the business actually. I then, on top of that, decided to only focus, now that I was in that place of allowing and acceptance for where I was, on thoughts that aligned to my desire. I had completely detached. So I was looping these thoughts in my mind, and it felt so natural to me from a place and a natural state of acceptance for where I was at the time. And everything seemed to line up so naturally then. I passed my neurotransformation therapy program. I had a new incredible program to offer my clients, and clients started to flow and fill up my diary. And I've never looked back since. I have been attached to people before, specific persons, exes, friends, because I was looking for them to fill me up, to fill up a hole that was missing within me, that gap. And I didn't like it. I didn't feel like I was enough without these people in my life, you see. So I was so very attached now. And in past loving relationships, that would have come across as extremely needy. I wouldn't say that I was needy with friends, but I needed them, if that makes sense. So like I was not enough without them in my life, and it felt really sad, and I didn't feel good, and it didn't feel good. I didn't feel good, and it didn't feel good, to be honest. But when I took the pressure off myself and needing these people, when I accepted the situations for what they were, and I felt so much happier, and I felt free in my mind too, I had that sense of relief, and certain people came back into my life effortlessly. I've done this recently too. I was always one reaching out to a specific friend and overgiving and not receiving much back, if I'm perfectly honest. And it felt really, really one-sided, like a one-way street, and it felt quite selfish. You know, and I was attached to how I wanted her to be with me and not accepting her for how she was. You see, if you want someone to change, but you're holding on to who they currently are, how you're seeing them, they're always going to remain that way. But I decided to accept her how she was, no matter what. And I continued to just be me and let go of the need of this person to be a particular way. I took the pressure off of the situation. I let go of the expectations. So I'm now in a place of accepting the situation for what it is and how they are, and being totally okay with it. They will either come back or they will float away. But fundamentally, I feel amazing for doing it. I feel relief and free from the need of having to have them in my life. When we have expectations of people, or if we see them in a particular way energetically, that can then push them away. So non-attachment is the key to the law of attraction. When you are non-attached, when you're not attached, you are more attractive, you're more desirable too. So whether that is with a specific person or people or that thing that you're wanting to have or experience, when you're in a place of non-attachment, you're taking the pressure off you. So let's get into and break down this process step by step. And this process is based on my experience. And this is what I have used, which when you do this, and we're going to go through this together, will then create that wonderful, amazing feeling of happiness and freedom within, no matter what or who you are desiring to have in your life right now. So it's time to get that pen and paper at the ready. So pause this video if you need to. Okay, let's go. So what is it you are currently feeling attached to? Is it a person, a need for something, a need to have your body a particular way? Whatever it is, write it down. Whatever it is that is bringing you that anxiety, those obsessive thoughts that is making you feel stuck and unhappy. Maybe it's something you really, really want and you just cannot let go of it. It could be friends. It could be a loving relationship, like I said. Whatever it is, write it down. When I have made a decision in the past to detach, I have actually not thought about it as detaching, let's say, but I've always said to myself, do I want to continue feeling like this? Do I want to feel like this anymore? Or do I want to put how I feel about me and my happiness first now? I made a decision based on how I was feeling and how I wanted to feel. And it never had anything to do with having to have the outcome. It was all about how I felt. So you have a choice. Do you want to continue to feel stuck and unhappy, feeling attached to the desire, or do you want to feel happy and non-attached? I choose the feeling of freedom and to experience being happy. I choose my happiness over the need of anything, whether that's friends, new friends, loving relationship, my body being a particular way, money, whatever it is. How I feel had to be the most important. I had to be my priority. Whatever the situation I was experiencing that I was attached to, which was leading me to believe without it or without them, I couldn't be happy, I would then just go back to when this first started. I wouldn't go too far back, but just to when this need became apparent for me. And for me, it came from a place of fear. of feeling not wanted, not good enough to have it or them. So it was carrying a story of needing to have the desire or the person to feel happy, to feel enough, to feel validated or wanted. But the truth is, I don't need these things or these people to be happy, to feel fulfilled within, to feel validated enough, or to feel wanted or worthy. I can just choose to be happy right now. I have the choice. So this letting go of the old story that developed from a programmed pattern of belief I once held onto about myself, which was, I need to have it. I need to have them to feel happy, but I don't, and I can't, and therefore I can't be happy. So ask yourself, where does your belief come from, and what is that belief? What is the belief that you are currently holding on to about yourself, and the desire that is creating a belief within you that you cannot be happy without it? You know, this step is also so incredibly powerful because this is about understanding your thought process, which formulates your actions, your behaviors, and your beliefs that you have about things, about yourself, about others, and the needing of having to have it all. You know, whether that is a friend to show up in a particular way, to have a certain amount of money in the bank, to have a loving relationship, to have the ex back, to have that dream house, to have that dream body, to have more friends. So now you are aware of this, and this is what Neville Goddard talks about. You are now going to be letting go of that old man, that old version of you. Your awareness of your pattern of thought and where this originates from is so extremely powerful, because the old beliefs that you had to have this to feel a particular way are now going to be transformed. And in my case, it was to feel enough, worthy, validated just for who I am. But I don't need anything to feel this way. I can just choose to feel this way for myself and then be happy. So once you know what these thoughts are, you can revise them to the true belief, the new empowering belief. So you're flipping that story. I am enough with or without it, and I can choose to be happy just as I am. So this step I'm going to share with you now is about whatever it is you are desiring to have or to experience, that before you had the thought of needing it, you were okay without it. Before you met that person, you had a pretty good life without them. When I think about an ex-specific person, and all the times we broke up and got back together, and during the breakups, I would feel like, oh my God, how am I going to live without them? How am I going to keep moving forwards, living my life? What would I do even? You know, from our final breakup, which was such a long time ago now, I am now in a place of not being attached to them. And I have a wonderful life, and I am more successful than I have ever been. And I simply wish them well, and to have their best life too. You know, I am okay just as I am without them in my life. And the thoughts that I couldn't have had all those years ago, but you see, looking back, I was always going to be okay, more than okay. And now having this viewpoint on things too really, really helps, because you do know you will be fine, that you will be okay with or without that thing, that person, that desire. You know, this last step I'm going to share may feel like a repetition to things I have said in other videos to you. But to all of us here, we all have a choice, and you can all choose whether you want to be happy or not. You really are the ones in control of how you feel, and nothing outside of you is. You are responsible for how you feel, and you have the choice to feel happy or the choice to feel unhappy. That is down to you. And yes, when it comes to a specific person or getting an ex back, there may be a time that you need to go through to grieve them. But there comes a time when that grieving is just weighing you down. And you can choose each day to feel weighed down by that, which is an attachment, or to finally set yourself free to be happy just for who you are. So, detaching and experiencing that feeling of non-attachment from the need of a desire or expecting people to be a particular way is making a choice. And by choosing to be happy just for being yourself. Accepting will allow all of those desires and the relationships to unfold beautifully and lovingly whilst being happy for just being you. No expectations, no attachment, just simply accepting and allowing. I really, really hope you have enjoyed this video, guys, and I really hope that you get as much out of this as you possibly can. And I said earlier it was based on a subscriber comment, which I wanted to address. So please comment below and let me know what really resonated for you in this video. I love hearing from you, as you all know. And as I said earlier, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment too, as this really does help the channel. And it really, really means the world to me. And I'm just going to leave you there and send much love to you all. Take care, and I'll be back very soon.